Hello everyone. I've had this Toyota Land Cruiser 60 for more than a month already. But today is finally the day I have time to unbox it, and today will be a little different. I'm not sitting in the studio anymore. Instead, I brought this truck deep into the forest to review it. Because honestly, a Land Cruiser 60 deserves to be unboxed somewhere, surrounded by rocks, dirt, trees and adventure vibes. That's where this truck truly belongs. Alright, let's get started. Wow, the packaging is really well done, double box protection, and wow, the artwork on the box looks amazing. A beautiful Toyota Land Cruiser 60 with detailed KC10 chassis feature graphics printed all around the package. Just looking at the box already makes me want to take this thing on an adventure trip. Inside there's thick foam protecting the truck, instruction manuals, some extra parts and accessories. Everything is organized very cleanly. The truck itself is wrapped carefully in thick plastic protection. Even the radio controller is packed very securely. My first impression, I absolutely love the proportions of this Land Cruiser 60. It has that classic old school feeling, but at the same time, it perfectly matches the spirit of adventure exploration. Kyosho really did a great job with the body details. This is a fully licensed Toyota body, so the proportion and scale details look very accurate. The chrome grille, mirrors, windshield, wipers, roof rack, rear ladder, all these small details are done beautifully. One thing I really like is the hidden body mounting system. There are no visible body clips sticking out like traditional RC crawlers. Yeah, that makes the whole truck look much more realistic and clean, especially when filming cinematic scale adventure videos. So the KC10 chassis underneath is also very interesting. It uses steel ladder frame design, just like a real off-road vehicle, combined with a 3-link front and 4-link rear suspension setup. This gives the truck a good balance between realistic scale movement and crawling performance. But my first feeling is that the stock tires are a little too hard. That's probably not ideal for rocky terrain like this. The suspension also feels slightly stiff compared to the overall weight of the truck. Maybe Kyosho tuned it this way for durability and for adding more adventure accessories later, but that's okay. I'll definitely tune and modify all of this in future videos. This truck really needs more scale accessories to bring it to life. Camping gear, fuel cans, ropes, lights, expedition equipment, all those little details will make it look much more realistic. But the front and rear bumpers are plastic. Personally, I think I'll upgrade them to metal bumpers to give the top bumper to the truck a more hardcore and authentic expedition feel. One downside I noticed, the center skid area under the transmission sits a little too low. So when climbing over large rocks on the belly of the chassis can get hung up pretty easily. The axles and the housings are plastic, but honestly, they still feel pretty solid. And inside, Kyosho uses CNC steel hypoid gears, which makes the drivetrain feel very smooth and quiet with strong torque. Another really cool thing is that the KC10 chassis was designed with DIG and 2-speed transmission system already built into the platform, and this ready-set version comes locked in low gear, and DIG isn't activated yet, but later on you can upgrade it with optional parts if you want more advanced crawling features. That surprised me a lot. Because it shows Kyosho didn't build this truck just as a simple toy crawler. They actually created a serious crawler platform with room for upgrades and customization. Alright, now let's remove the body and see what's inside. The body removal system is pretty simple, but because of that, the body doesn't lock perfectly tight onto the chassis. When driving aggressively or leaning heavily on side angles, the body can shift slightly. For someone picky like me, that's a little annoying. So I'll definitely need to fix that later. Inside, the layout is very clean and organized. The battery sits low and near the center of the chassis to help keep the center of gravity down. There's even an additional rear battery mounting position to help balance weight distribution for climbing and descending steep terrain. The stock electronics include a 32-turn brushed 550 motor and around a 15-kilogram steering servo. Another nice touch is the seal receiver box, which helps protect the electronics from dirt and light water exposure. Perfect for outdoor scale adventure driving like this. And this radio controller, wow, there are so many buttons on it. But honestly, today I'm not going too deep into that part. A truck made for slow exploration and crawling over rocks, crossing rivers, driving through forests, just enjoying the journey. Alright, enough talking. Now let's see how this Toyota Land Cruiser 60 performs on rocks and water out here in the forest.